Gavan! Welcome, brave souls. I am your GM in the Great Barrier, and we are here tonight for Star Trek Adventures. We are here for tonight's episode, the continuation of our current adventure, Toy'meH, jach, Hoch, Part 2. So, before we get into the session tonight, our usual array of shoutouts. One, of course, for our executive officer and our sometimes MC for Q&A sessions. One, Mr. Joe, the OverlandGamer, and his OverlandGamer channel. Anything particularly fun going on recently, Joe?
We just started a new character for Fallout 76. I realized I hadn't played it since December of last year, so there's a lot of updates to run through and see what everything's changed, and just having fun with it.
Good stuff, good stuff. Another shout out as well, going towards our own Raldar, who has tabletop and other variety gaming over on their channel. That's at Zyla OXO. Anything particularly fun going on over there right now, Caligo?
Suffering.
Yes. Well, we are a pro-suffering stream on this channel.
Yes.
Predominantly when it comes to players. Incidentally when it comes to GMs. But in any case...
And specifically when it concerns characters.
Yes. Choose your pain. That's all I have to say on the matter. Speaking of making a choice of pain, we are going to get started with tonight's session with a quick reminder of where we were. So I don't believe I did the good thing and asked you to do a follow-up sort of recap for this last week, or I certainly didn't check on it if I did ask you, so I won't have that expectation this go-round. We'll just kind of hint at this as we go. How's that sound?
Okey-doke.
All right. So we'll pick up right where we left off. On an evening outside the city of Takur's fort on Mektor, where Tabak, you stand gazing across the way at the fortress and at the citadel that, so far as you know, you were standing in mere moments ago, and you were walking back into that very citadel. However, at that last moment, you found yourself out here, without any hint of a transporter beam, without any sense of the environment
and no clothes
changing around you. Very little in the way of clothes. I think we established that for the sake of modesty, Tabak had some outfit. We could go so far, I suppose, as to say that maybe he went shirtless for this, but he's got the broadcast network, long pajama pants, and well, we can give him the pointy Klingon bunny slippers if you like.
They'd be Targ slippers, wouldn't they?
Possibly. In any case.
Pour him off the Targ myself.
The
Moosey slippers.
The how remains a question, but the why has become very apparent as you are joined by someone out here. You are not alone in this. Gotta fix a cord real quick because it's telling me power's an issue. Okay, have that fixed. The how remains a mystery. The why is readily apparent, though, for as you've turned and you've been met by the voice and face of somebody you did not expect to see again. She was someone you knew briefly as a prisoner and supposedly as a simple dock worker on a space station. A fellow Hoch, as it would seem, who was more involved with the prison that you found yourself in than you realized, and who made clear that your freedom meant a debt, and that seemed so it would seem that is what has pulled you out, been pulled out for.
Well, if you recall, I suspected her from the instant I saw her. Didn't
Yeah.
believe a damn thing she said to me.
Yes.
And then she asked what I was willing to pay to keep my family safe. And I said, everything.
Indeed. So, I believe when last we left you off properly, you were pinching the bridge of your nose in frustration before we continued with the conversation. So we'll pick up from there. Taking that moment for yourself, Tabak, you're now free to engage with her outside the walls of your family's ancestral city, the seat of your house's power.
Ah. Your timing is impeccable.
You seem at least in marginally better spirits since last we met, Tabak.
Well, not being ensconced in a mind sifter and repeatedly killed will have that effect. What do you want?
Her face is implacable, and she says, simply, I am here to call you to service, as promised.
As expected, though not expected as soon as it was or is. What would you have of me?
The needs and timing are as we deem it, and circumstances require you to work quickly. Hopefully your time spent at home has not dulled your instincts of command.
I wouldn't believe that he would, seeing as I have to run the household.
We shall see. Simply put, we need you to retrieve someone. There's an individual with whom we have an interest, one who has information for us. But we have lost contact with them in the Thorador sector.
I don't suppose knowing what information they have is going to be coming forth
It will not.
in this conversation.
And it is not something that you need to know.
Obviously.
What you need to know are the coordinates that are our last known ones for the individual.
Have you no one else who can take care of this? I have meetings in the morning.
Mindu, that Kuhach, whom you suspected from the beginning, clasps her hands behind her shoulders. Whether we have what we need to do this is immaterial to the circumstance. You made an agreement. You are to honor your word, if you are to keep your honor. Whatever inconvenience this poses, I promise you, our debt comes first. Or do you wish to reverse course on your deal?
No. However, part of that deal was to ensure the health and prosperity of my house and family. And my family's been doing that on its own.
Yes, yes. Making deals with the jach guild.
Yes.
Yes. I must say the construction on those spaceports is quite interesting. And I understand that your brother has been busy at some time sending queries along for various possible freighter craft, but hasn't had too much in the way of success. Some doors.
You are very well informed, though I am not surprised at this.
Well, it is something that those who I serve value, and that knowledge is a way to open a great many doors. Life has a great many of those, Toy'meH. And you certainly don't want to find yourself on the wrong end of the wrong door. As she says this, instantly there is a flashing in your mind of the cell of a door where a pair of eyes and a deep, raspy voice greeted you every time before some variety of punishment was exacted upon you. I will...
Threats? Really? Is that necessary?
That's merely a statement of fact, Toy'meH.
It was a threat. Be honest, at least in that.
Interpret it how you will. It is immaterial to me as well. Suffice to say, knowledge and service to gain that knowledge can have its own benefit. So perhaps think of that instead, and of what you may yet stand to gain from it.
So I am threatened and commanded, and the promise dangled in front of me as reward. Do I have that about correct?
You are called to serve, as we all are, Toy'meH.
Mm-hmm. I offered to serve in exchange. You expect me to pay for goods that I haven't yet received? Or may never receive?
Now you question our honor, Toy'meH, and that is even less wise.
Oh, please. Please. Honor? Your honor is a very different flavor from anyone else's honor. Let's not kid anyone.
We each command it on our in our respective fields of battle, Toy'meH. I thought you of all people should understand it.
Of course I do. My normal battlefield is in commerce.
Yes, and
I understand this better than you know. If you know me, you know of my 27 copies of the jach that I have handwritten. I understand what it means to be Klingon.
She's waiting
and if you ask me to walk into darkness, I will. As I have said, I will. I don't have to like it. I don't have to enjoy it. I will do as I gave my word to do. But I expect that same honesty and honor, he sort of looks at her through his big bushy eyebrows. is reciprocated.
Well,
Now
Perf-
give me the damned coordinates. Put me back in my bedroom. And let me get on with this.
she simply smiles and silently for a moment, like a very broad, almost Cheshire cat-like grin. The coordinates are already input in your navigational computer. You may depart tomorrow afternoon after your meetings are done.
I also have to perform the final shakedown for all of the modifications that have been done to my ship.
Well, I sincerely hope you can do that en route, because while we have some allowance, time is a factor. We expect you to proceed to the Thorador sector as soon as possible, making those allowances, and to locate the individual. We will, of course, give you or I should say, we have already input a frequency that you should look for in order to detect their the beacon of our contact. Once you have a read on them, it should be a simple matter of going down, retrieving them, and well, she thinks for a moment, looking off to the side.
Is collecting them via transporter not an option?
If you can achieve transporter lock, then do so. It makes no difference so long as you bring them back alive.
Do they need all of their parts?
We would like them to be of service in the future. But what is most important is what they carry here, she says, tapping her temple.
And against whom may I be engaging?
Of that, we do not know. They, in seeking their information, we only know that they were interrupted by some means. However, given the proximity of Thorador to some of our oldest enemies, as well as to the rogues of that lawless region beyond the frontier, there are a great many possibilities. Suffice to say, I would recommend that you ensure that what crew you have is ready for possible combat. As well, it may not hurt, given the losses you've sustained, to find another individual or two to fill out your roster.
That should be taken care of by this point. How much time am I allotted to succeed in this mission?
If you can locate them, if you can discern that they are alive, then you have as much time as you need to ensure that they remain that way, and that they are brought back from that planet.
And if they are already dead?
Then you will simply notify us as such. Return here if they die. If not,
here, as in my home?
Yes. Return here if they are dead. If not, proceed to Mastercal. They will be safe there.
Mr. GM, am I familiar with this particular place?
I will give you the opportunity for the first roll of the session, and I will ask you for a command plus reason roll. let's make sure that this is
My character sheet.
Are you having problems with it there?
Oh, there it is. Okay, all I was getting was the portrait.
Oh, I see. I
Com-
see.
Command and what now? I'm sorry.
It would be a roll of command plus
Mhm.
reason with a
Wait.
difficulty of 1.
Pretty sure none of my focuses apply.
Probably.
Feel free to give him threat and take an extra die. I'm sure he'd appreciate that as a benevolent GM.
Yes.
Whose side are you on?
The side of the story. There's no other side to be on.
Mr. Azek the Stranger with 2 hands?
I'm not there.
I'm not there.
Fine,
Okay,
there you go.
with 2 successes, you gain 1 point of momentum. For starters, whom would like to be the designated momentum officer tonight?
Joe does.
Okay.
Joe, you have been volunteered, or rather,
No,
voluntold.
voluntold.
Yes, yes. So, at your leisure, if you prefer, I can deal that out to you. Otherwise, you can draw momentum on your own as desired.
I got it.
Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, that is a point of momentum. And as you understand it, Tabak, Master Cal is a... The GM completely loses his train of thought there.
It happens.
Yes, yes it does. Too frequently. So let's
Do
see.
you need a moment?
No. But I probably
Okay.
do need a drink of water. The GM must remember to hydrate from time to time.
For those of you that are watching, we are playing Star Trek Adventures from Modiphius Entertainment. It's a 2d20 system. Roll low, so the lower that you roll, the better your chances are. You just noticed that we gained momentum, and we discussed a little bit about threat. That is a meta currency that the game allows for us as players or the GM to kind of help weave the story as a shared storytelling experience a little bit more than other tabletop role playing games allow.
Yeah, players use it to make things easier for us. The GM uses it to make things more difficult.
Yeah. Okay. I am all set here.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, Master Cal, you know, is a slightly spin word on the Galactic Arms. It's a slightly spin word Klingon colony. It's, I'd say, like several light years away. By your reckoning, it's a far more popular colony. Some growing industries, a good-sized amount of agricultural production as well. Kind of more of a hub of sorts. Given Azek, or at least the previous Azek's penchant for reports, you may well have even seen some bit of paperwork alluding to it at different points, suggesting either interesting trade opportunities or vague notes of some sort of, for lack of a better term, space race.
Okay.
But yes, Mastical firmly like a Klingon colony and hub, better situated than your own. But
That's not difficult.
yeah. So let's see. The okay. So yeah, that's your check there, and she's basically saying, take him to that, take the contact to that planet, if they are alive, and they will be, if so, we can handle them from there.
As you wish.
A more pleasant demeanor and, well, serve us well, and you can, I am sure that we can find some way to reward your honorable conduct.
Oh, the conduct may or may not be honorable, but the repayment would be.
You do what you must to do that, and to accomplish the task, and square it with your honor however you wish. It is, as with several other things, immaterial beyond our purpose of securing this information. You will do both our houses great service.
And which house would that be?
She smiles. Next time, Captain. And she turns around and says, "It really is quite a nice city you have there." Before she turns her back to you. Do you glance back in the direction of the city?
No, I'm watching her.
No. She'll disappear over the ridge as it is getting quite dark. As a matter of fact, unnaturally dark. You can scarcely see a few feet in front of you at this point.
Are you just going to leave me here? I shout out into the darkness.
Yep. As the moment the last bit of sound reverberates towards her, it echoes with a bizarre quality, and before you can fully process it, the darkness becomes a different one, that of a dimly illuminated room as you just step through the curtains in your citadel. You are in the bedroom. Morty is settling in, and you are pretty much back where you were before you stepped onto the balcony.
Look at the wife. Give one of those, sideways grins. Growl and leap. Fade to black.
Well, but nothing can over. The less said about that, the better, is what we'll say. Yeah. With that bit, let's actually, just while we set things up and get a quick order of that, I'm going to just throw us on an ad break for a moment. So, one moment, everybody joining us on stream. Obviously, for those that are subscribed, in addition to my I-beam powers as an emote, you'll get to hear a little discussion on this. So, we'll get that started here. And for those in the archive, this will probably get cut out, of course. So, let's see. As we'll cut back ahead to the next day when we get back to this. Let's see. Taybach, I will say that, Sean, I was thinking, from what I alluded to earlier, we do have one other supporting character to allude to, but kind of if you want to have any, meat shield type NPCs or a call for warriors or some shit like that, then that would be kind of the way to go in terms of introducing that. We just have one character that still needs to be brought in for this, is all I'm thinking. So
I would have assumed that if we still had berths open, then call would have gone out. especially seeing as I converted one cargo hold into barracks for a dozen guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, we laid in extra stores, so
Yep.
if we need 12 meat shields, we can get them.
Yeah. So I guess question would be, do you want to just be there with, or do you want Tabak to take care of that? Would you prefer Azek handle it and bring someone else along for that? I will say for our purposes, Raldar is busy with personal errands and readying the ship. Though, of course, Raldar, if you want other scenes outside of this, then you can have that too.
Oh no, let Azek pick out the meat shields. He is the warrior.
Fair
He
enough.
would know better. He would know better than I. I'm a Klingon, yeah, but man's got to know his limitations.
Fair enough. I'm going to. I think I'm going to pull up a bar set for this. It's been just a minute since we've had anything quite calling for it here.
So the plan is to go recruit, or these are guys that we already need to meet and tell them to get on board the ship.
The idea would be to recruit. There is a call for warriors, and you're looking. Basically, the idea is to pull in some able-bodied crewmen that can act as meat shields, basically. If you want other player characters for this, I will say, well, I think Tabak would be tending to more important things, but I guess if you wanted to be involved in the scene, you could always bring Hoch for this.
Hemlock is a he's a stick. He is a blunt instrument. He would not be able to help with this at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I was kind of.
I mean, he might be in the bar.
Yeah, I was thinking he might incidentally be there and just drinking around and he, he can be there to help if something gets out of hand.
Oh, he could be an incidental bodyguard.
Yep, or just brawler for shits and giggles.
I will go with that. That is fine.
Okay, so I guess Azek, the question would be: Would you want any other would you want anyone else around for the little recruitment thing? We'll say it's in a tavern for the able-bodied men to come by, prove their mettle. Chemak could incidentally be there. Steven, if you want to bring in Traven or Nogri or something like that, putting forward a best foot, it's all up to you.
Honestly, it's up to everybody else. I'm fine. Dupont will be in the transporter room, fixing things up there, getting things ready.
Okay. Cheesy, do you wanna bring anyone to this particular scene? Is CAFK? I need to double check.
Oop, sorry, I was muted. Traven loves going to a tavern.
All right, Traven,
perfect.
you volunteered to help assess recruits here. So, yeah, I will I'll get the scene. I'm going to get this set up here. I guess one question would be as we go into that next day, Tabak, you probably would want to make sure at least some of your crew are a little more familiar with the sudden change in priorities. So if you want something with all of the characters, then we can run that scene first.
No. That's quite all right. I have my meetings in the morning, and this is something that Azek needed to get done. So yeah,
fair enough.
I'm cool with the order of operations.
I will ask then. Would you have just sent word out to everyone that you are about to go off on this mission? Or would it be a situation where you give out these abrupt orders so that everyone knows, shit's going down, have things ready before, or by the afternoon, or pull in a few, or rather, we leave tonight, get whoever you need for this sort of thing, basically.
Basically, yeah. We're doing the shakedown cruise, and we got something to do while we're doing it. Get everything ready. We're taking off by sundown.
Gotcha. So with this sudden word, we will cut ahead to a next day. Let me just get things moved around here. What's going on there? Oh yes. Azek, I'm going to say, as things get rolled up, it's been a strange day for like so far as the recruitment stuff goes. So since you had to call this up very abruptly, order it, like the call has generally gone out across the city at this point. The early part of the day has I'd say that it's kind of been it's been an uneven crowd of sorts. So you have had moments where the odd warrior of roughly military age would have shown up, but not quite like the. Trying to think of how best to word this. It's been a little slower than you would have expected it to be. So let me. I see what's going on. Something is stuck here. So. Alright. Just flipping some things around because this is... Sorry, Roll20 is having a very slight technical issue. There we go. Alright, there we go. So the current line is well, we'll just pick up in the bar where I think at this point you are, we'll call it 3-4 drinks in at this point, listening to the latest bunch, and a bit of an older crowd has come out at this point. As we'll say, Azek Traven, you are before you as a man by the name of Kalnor has come before you, and he's been describing. He's kind of been telling you his life story here, of how he has frequently missed the opportunity for to do battle due to various injuries. Instances of like bad timing or other commitments. He's saying, well, and indeed, after were it not for a bumper crop on a last harvest, I would have been able to go to complete my service at the academy, and I would have fought in the last great war against the Federation, but it has not been, circumstance has not been kind to me. But I am ready now to give my honor to the House of Toy'meH.
Describe to me a situation in which you lost your weapon and had to improvise to victory.
Well, I have not truly been in a fight before.
How old is he?
He is, I would say, at this point, while still certainly, by all means, a capable gentleman. I'd say that he's pushing, like, upper 50s at this point. I have done my work well for the house and for my family and its line. My skill has mostly been work through agriculture, through technical means, but I am fully prepared to give my life as such as needed.
What skills could you offer our crew other than honor and your life? What else could you bring to the table?
I have the heart of a warrior. I would be quite determined to show this to anyone who would get in my way and give me the chance for combat.
You have the heart of a warrior, but do you have the stomach of a warrior? And I lean over to Traven to hand him a gawk pocket.
What manner of... It's... Am I meant
this.
to... Okay. Oh dear. I'm just gonna roll a flat D20.
Laugh if you succeed.
It's not bad. I have some suggestions, though, to make it a superior dish.
He fails.
Fired.
Get him out.
Executed.
What? But... No! He steps aside. It's like, you will rue the day I shall prove my worth. If anyone should wish to get in my way... I will, well, just say, let's see, stand by here, just messing up my display here.
Would you say he's older than Azek or younger than Azek?
Younger than Azek.
So this won't be a that bad of a deal.
He at this point he's already turning off because he's not fought Traven on the rejection.
That's a good point.
Once again, yeah, he's kind of getting a little more indistinct, though he's still kind of just shy of the table. Another person is stepping up, this one a considerably shorter gentleman. In fact, Traven, I dare say, you might have, from your luxury cruiser days, you might have some semblance of this. As a matter of fact, give me, I'll call this either a command and science or let's see. I gave you 2 disciplines there. That's not what I'm supposed to do. It's going to be a reason roll. The discipline will be command or science.
They're both good. Alrighty. No focus, I don't think would apply here. Unless conversation would be a focus.
Not really in this case.
I think so. And
All right, and that is 1 success. So that will... I'll say that's enough to at least tell you that you would recognize an Ithonite. They are, as you generally know, a more hedonistic species. They're actually members of the Federation, as far as you know, or like have experienced it. Generally more inclined towards commerce, diplomacy, and known definitely for a culture of hedonism. Generally very short, and bronzed in complexion.
Okay.
Ye call for warriors, I understand.
Indeed.
Right. I shall be all the warrior you need then. I'm a proud warrior that carries on a tradition many centuries in the making. My armor was last worn by Armatrix II, one of the finest warriors to have borne the name.
Describe your greatest weakness in battle.
You consider me to have some weakness? I have killed men for words such as that before.
Oh, I mean no disrespect. All warriors have a weakness.
You mean it not, but you imply it, he says, producing no less than 2 daggers.
Ooh. Is he on the other side of the table then?
He is.
What would it take for me to we've had a few drinks since then, since we've been here, right?
Right.
Roughly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can Hemlock step in?
Is it time?
go ahead.
Is it time
I'll
for Hemlock?
if I'll just say before I decloak the token, as it were. Well, let me ask first, just real quick, Azek, what is it that you're wanting to do? Just to give me a sense of this, or are you wanting to test your present sobriety? I guess
I was going to jump up onto the table and give him a knee to the face.
I should be clear. This Ithonite gentleman is about 4'3". So your knee would not catch him. Your foot might.
I go to kick him in the knee and I trip over him with my foot.
Vopri is just slightly taller than this man.
What I'm gonna stand up and look down at him and kind of shake my head and what battles have you seen? You said you've killed before.
I have seen countless battles through arenas and through fields from the let's see from the Taurus Reach to the Typhon Expanse and every battlefield in between, from raiders on Corridan and from Honor's End to Clack the Kelbracht, and I'll tell you what, it can be time now, Caligo. Would you, let me ask, would you just be surging past this gentleman as he regales Azek with the record?
I would say that he is just floundering at this point. This poor man.
Well, I'll just ask as this man is like giving gesticulation worthy of Shakespeare, like moving to the like with broad sweeping sort of things, and as he's going on and on, just tell us, how do you approach this conversation, Lynn?
Oh, I just walk up as if it was nothing.
Okay. Are you cloaked presently? That is to say, are you covered in any fabric here, or are you openly walking about? I guess would be the question.
openly walking about.
Okay. In that case, as this man continues to discuss this, like, regale you with his battles in fine Klingon tradition, another individual walks by. Caligo, describe them as they pass the angry Ithonite.
A modestly tall woman of about 5'10", with black hair, and with horrible starring, both from, burns, bladed weapons, shrapnel, and very clearly cybernetically enhanced, or prosthetic.
Klingon woman?
No, human.
Oh?
Looking much more humanoid, yeah. So yeah, you step past the Ithonite, and undoubtedly this at least catches you a little off guard, Traven.
I'm sorry. He just sounds like a child.
What?
And I drew.
You're not. You're surely not referring to me in our proud tradition. I have skinned beings for less.
She looks at him with cold, empty eyes. And she's just like, it's just sort of a look of, go on, I'm listening. Like a disappointed parent.
Oh, you think you're smart or clever? You think that you're just going to impose on me? Well, I assure you that is not the case. His knives are still out, and he kind of flips them around in his hands with like an elaborate show of knife work. By the time I'm done with you, no amount of machinery is going to stitch you back together.
That's enough. This is a cordial meeting for us to find the best of the best. It's obvious that you can't cut it. We need warriors, but we don't need people with hot-headed attitudes. You can leave.
You dishonor generations of my tradition. I'll kill him! And the Ithonite is beginning to round on you, daggers at the ready, perhaps fatally turning his back on you, Lynn.
It takes her very little to pull out a gun and point it at the back of his head.
Hemlock is just sitting at the bar drinking, watching all of this tomfoolery.
Yep. Do you want to take the shot there, or any parting thoughts? I don't know.
If he is going for the stab, yes, she will shoot him.
He's definitely going for Traven. This man is seeing red.
Yeah, she shoots him.
All right. Give me a control plus security, and just for the narrative fun here, take an extra D20 on the GM.
All right.
It's a difficulty 2 roll here.
Yep. Control security. I believe.
Yes.
I gotta bump up my complication a little bit.
Ah, good. We're using that first talent bot here as a sporting character.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's see. Well, we're going spicy here. You've succeeded, but the question there is a natural 20 on the board there. So the question is, do you want a narrative complication? Do you want to just give the GM extra threat for that and ignore the complication, or would you prefer to what is it? Well, I guess you don't really have determination or sufficient momentum to buy that off, so you have the first two choices.
I feel like this is one of the few scenarios where I will just give you threat.
Very good. I'll go ahead and ask too, which weapon were you firing that shot with?
The modular disruptor pistol.
Okay. So go ahead, roll damage on that. Okay. That is 5 successes. Or rather, that is 5. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3.
5 damage.
Yeah, 5 damage. Yeah. So that's enough for what I'm going to presume is a lethal injury. For some reason, the GM is taking momentum instead of threat. Just to make things nice and simple, and to be also very selfish about it, I will just take the additional point of threat for wanton acts of murder. But yes,
But we're Klingons.
Yes, and even the Klingons need to take a talent for it. But that is
anyway, she shoots him, he dies, and Chemak does a spit take and all over somebody.
You see this Ithanite man, his eyes burning red as he is practically staring the daggers he's carrying into you. But you also see like his head just go completely, like, it is engulfed in energy, and just a field overtakes it as his headless body takes another half step as the head vaporizes and the rest of it follows before the body can even hit the ground. So the Ithanite is vaporized before you. At this point, the other Klingon behind them has just decided to go away. The other two do as well.
Chemak does the spit take and laughs. She killed the little guy. I like her.
I heard you were hiring. I hope I didn't walk into the wrong meeting.
It'd be weird if you did.
Yep.
I still would have done the same.
Isaac, why does nobody ever listen to reason?
Because reason is a coward. I don't know.
Fair.
Life isn't reasonable.
I'd say I honestly would say she's hired.
That's not my test.
Should we do the Gok pocket test or save that for later?
Can you eat food?
Yes.
No. Okay. No. She's been through enough.
True. All right. I'll describe where we're parked.
Captain, you gonna hire her? I like her. She's cool.
You better like her. She's bunking with you.
There's the first sign of emotion you fucking see from her is a slight wince.
Nah, see, like, she's gonna be in a barracks. I rack out on a barrel in the other cargo hold.
Yeah, at a certain point, we're gonna need the cargo hold for, cargo.
Yeah, I got a hammock for that.
All right.
Magnetic grapples on each end.
I would definitely say you're hired.
Yeah.
What the work's good and the food's even better. I put my hand on Traven's shoulder. Our master chef here is the best in the galaxy.
Ah, yes.
He can even make Klingon food.
She looks Traven up and down. And it's like, is your name Traven? Trill?
Uh-oh, dude.
Craven's gonna reach for his disruptor pistol. Yeah? What of it?
Oh, no need to be upset. I just, picked up that little thing you sent.
Did you possibly send it to the right destination?
I let it go on its way.
I mean, you have a ship?
No. Things would be a lot easier if I did.
What brings you to this part of space? I do have to ask. Since
What do
you
you-
are, you know.
She looking for a job. What else, man?
Yeah, but
The woman has to earn a living.
Well, you got other ways to do that.
very far out to earn a way of living.
It's simple.
Don't get more easy than just like killing people. That works great.
You'll have to tell me more about your story out here.
Now, what would you like to know?
Ooh.
We could discuss that later. You need to meet our luxurious captain. He's amazing.
I see.
It's like,
Yeah.
And last question, have you eaten?
Have I eaten? Not today.
That's a problem.
It's a busy day.
If we're gonna fix that, not with Gawk Pocket.
Not with that. What's a goth pocket?
Lady, don't ask. Don't ask. Oh, God, don't ask.
It's a culinary masterpiece for people of specific palate.
I see.
So, do we take her to meet the captain, Azek, or do we go back to the ship?
Well, how many more people did the captain say that we needed to bring?
He said fill the barracks, I think.
How many people does the barracks hold?
A dozen.
If I were to guess, about a dozen.
They're just
Okay.
meat shields. They're just meat shields.
All right. Round up a few more folks, and well, hell, we'll find that old guy. We'll get him to bring him to that
man,
the first guy we talked to.
you will give you an opportunity to stitch things together here as far as the remaining crew goes. As a matter of fact, Azek will, if you would like, we can roll. We can give you a roll to allow him the opportunity to. What am I thinking here? To make impassioned pleas for like from others who could act here and judge based on your success how many more people you draw in that way.
Yeah. Is there music playing by chance?
I'll say that there's some sort of a Klingon opera in the background or similar tune here.
All right. I am going to get onto the table. Obviously, make sure it's stable before I do. My fellow Klingons, we are in need of a few good Klingons and other strong warriors for a job most honorable. Unfortunately, the downside is we can't really tell you what it is, but it is full of honor. It is glorious, and we have blood wine.
Don't forget amazing food.
And amazing food.
And you get paid.
Not just in Gawk pockets.
A loud cheer comes up from the crowd, completely drowning out the mention of Gawk pockets as you hear people crying out,
God.
"Pay!"
I pick out the however many that look the most body ready, and we can roll the dice on based off those guys if you wish.
Give me presence plus command here to see if you, how many people you inspire with this.
Can I
I'd
assist?
like, yeah. Well, it's up to the GM.
I'll let Traven assist here, though I would like a description of what you're doing in order to help arouse spirits.
I told him to mention the food.
Very good, very good.
Since am I rolling command also?
Yes.
Since I'm using command as it, whenever I assist another character using my command discipline, you get a reroll. You get to reroll 1d20.
Okay. I am going to use that momentum that we have there to get an extra die on this roll. So I have 3.
All right.
I do not have any focuses that would work for this. So.
Well, you have 1 success from Traven and 2 successes on your own. You can re-roll that other D20 thanks to Traven's. Which talent was that again?
It is the advisor talent.
Yes.
That is a fail.
Yep, but not a critical one since I did not spend threat. So we'll say that is 3 successes on the board. You maybe get a couple more people that were a couple more people of age that were like able to get away from other commitments or didn't necessarily have them. I will say, as you've picked up that of those who would have been viable warriors, it's probably a little bit more of a trade-off in terms of the amount of work that's being done at Takur's fort right now, and those who are bound into their work. There's a good number of Savan here that are kind of in a relatively steady position. But there are still a few other Klingons, all of them Jach, that ultimately deign to give you a chance, and you are able to sign up a few more.
Sure.
Most lighter on combat experience than you would like, of course. There may have been some like local duels and people that are practiced with the mek'leth, but or a little bit. But these are mostly people that have done other work for a living, I'll say.
Kemok, how much experience do you have with combat?
I've been fighting my whole life. What are you talking about, man?
Well, starting
On that other planet, man, I murked 5 guys.
When we take off, I want you to take these rookies and start working them, get them used to combat and stuff like that. Basically, start teaching them the ways of the warrior.
He looks at you. The expression on his face is a mixture of surprise and awe. He's like, "Captain, are you putting me in charge of training these guys?"
You wanted to prove yourself.
Oh. Yes, sir. Thank you. Nobody's ever trusted me with nothing. I'll get right on it.
That's not true. We trusted you with the hammock in the cargo bay. That's a.
I will get right on it, boss.
And most important, we trust you with our lives, my friends.
that was Traven.
Yeah.
You're my friend?
Everybody on the crew is my friend, homie.
Oh, wow. Oh, I gotta go back to the ship real quick. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's trying not to cry.
Well, it's It should be easy given the absence of tear ducts.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Yep. He's trying not to be a sniveling mess.
Yeah. As close as a Klingon can get.
Yep. So Hoch will stumble out of the chair and walk down to ponder this new exciting chapter of his life.
As we head back, I'm assuming we're done here. We got pretty good crew complement. I probably would have some kind of a pad to like keep track of people that we signed on and all that jazz. I'll start figuring out the crew quarters and who goes where and that kind of thing as we walk back.
Yes.
Mr. GM, what kind of hand weaponry do we have on board anymore?
A very good question.
Because we're going to need to give these guys guns and knives at least. Although I'm pretty sure most everybody's going to come with at least a ducktag. We need to get them disruptor pistols and rifles.
Some time ago, back during the events of episode 4 of the last season, Woe and Zional, who you had just recruited in that episode, have disruptor will travel, arranged to acquire some additional ground weapons here. So your ship came stocked with shock weapons meant to be used to fight on open ground or in fortified positions. This included disruptor pistols, plasma repeaters, basically a very high sort of or automatic rate fire that spews out plasma, disruptor rifles, gintak spears, and thermite grenades. In addition to that, I think given the particular traditions of the foundries in your house and that which one of the things which the House of Cord is known for, if it's known for anything, I would say that it'd be fair to say you could easily acquire additional mechlets.
Okay, so we're basically stocked up enough for all of the new recruits to have weaponry.
Yep. Everybody gets 3 grenades.
Yeah, give me the list to put on my sheet.
It is in the pinned message, but I'll just repost this here.
I see it.
Yep, it's the ground assault package, just as a reminder. Yep. At some point, we could always shift things around if so desired.
Did we didn't update the ship's character sheet, did we?
If you're talking about the crew complement, I will say that has... no, that actually hasn't been updated. I will add that as we go. I think that might be worthy of a scene at some point here.
No, I mean like the systems and the...
yeah.
rugged
Well,
design.
the systems... So the systems don't receive it, like, we're not calling this a full-on refit, as it were. What this will be treated as is changing the departments, however. Because, as we've established, you guys have been operating on a skeleton crew for the longest time, and like, even as crew kind of filled out, it was... it was a little bit lacking in some ways. But now that I'm willing to say at this point you are operating with, I believe we agreed with on the House Guard setup. So you should now have, let's see, increases to some of the ship's disciplines here. I know that's somewhere in here. It managed to get lost and got lost in the earlier set. I'll have this pulled up and set for next time. So we put the ship through its paces. Yeah. As all that info is getting relayed, as you pull in the new bits of crew, let me ask, first, for the group that we're immediately with, does anybody have any parting thoughts on the situation? I think it's worth saying none of you have bothered to ask the human's name.
I was just gonna call her human.
Oh dear.
That's kind of rude.
Azek doesn't know like much of human courtesies like that.
Well, I suppose there is only the one human. Yeah. Traven, are you at all, I don't know. Anyone want to do anything more with this before we leave off?
Out of character, I think it's funny to do the comical introduce but not know her name to the captain.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. That'll be Taybok's gonna love this.
This is a thought that Hammock actually had a thought. Do Klingons, when they're training, do they train with anything but live steel?
I'd say variable tradition. There might be some cases where blunted weapons are used. For children, probably.
Okay. But even for these people we just hired, training weaponry might not be a bad idea.
Probably
if I'm
not.
Going, okay, so yeah, he's going to lay in a supply of training gear.
Very good.
Cool. All
right. So I guess with nothing else to do in the bar, and no one that much more curious about the human will settle in stuff with the get that settled a little later on. I do think, if you're still up for something here, Caligo, I think that it'd be worth checking in on that Batleth while they're busy.
All right.
Yeah. Sure enough, as you have been going through messages and getting the ship set for launch, now that the captain's suddenly decided that now is the time to get out of here, you did also receive a message from the forge master you spoke with the other day. He has the pieces of Batleth together, or not reforged together, but more has the two separate pieces very nearby as you arrive. The forges are indeed quite busy. Various craftspeople working at the metal and preparing blades with very exacting precision. Perhaps none quite so meticulously crafted as the captain's, but nonetheless with great care. The slightly older forge master, whom you spoke with the previous day, his face is implacable as the steel that he works with. And as he lets up, as you approach him, he stands as tall as it can, shoulders thrown back. Hey, Mr. Raldar.
Yes. How does the work?
I completed my analyses of the metal as quickly as I could. I have to say this may prove a more complicated job than I had suspected.
Well,
The craftsmen with these Batleths were... it is something remarkable. I'd say this technique is... it's different than some I've worked with. polymers and alloys in this have been very intricately weaved in a sense. And he produces a pad that details that shows you details of the bat'leth. The design here was very exacting. Almost, I would say it would be extremely hard to conceive of for for a blade like this to be forged. But you see, not just in the blade work, but some of the compounds, there are some unique properties to the bat'leth itself. If I didn't know better, I would say the craftsman had access to some particular forge and worked with a very durable alloy, something that I haven't seen myself before. Now, I could conceivably use what technology we have here and what metals we have on hand to repair the blade. I could even try to restore the proper curvature of that which was melted by the disruptor blast, as you had mentioned. However, I make no guarantees that it would be nearly as durable. The pieces we have that may not work so well. Said, though, you knew something of these warriors that had, you were of some relation or service. I'm fairly certain you mentioned it was your uncle, quote-unquote, who had said this, but he's not comfortable with the idea, given Giant Lizard Man.
It is a long story.
Well, if you have any ties to that house still, and you can learn of the craftsmen behind this, the blade could be fully restored under that circumstance. As it is now, I can do this work for you, but there is a risk that there may be imperfections in the blade which will undermine its durability in battle.
I will hold off on its reconstruction then. I will see if I can take it to the original smiths.
The forge master nods. Very well, very well.
I will pay you for the work you have done so far.
Before you leave, if it were so desired, as in service to the, as you've been in service to the captain, I can supply you with one of our more recent batch of mechleth. It is not as heavy as what the bat'leth would be, but it is still a useful. It would still potentially be useful. I could, if you want, instead work to develop a longer blade, similar to a mechleth, more, I suppose, in the vein of the tikleth.
I can make do with such a weapon.
For someone...
I have been without a proper blade beyond the jach for some time.
Even someone of your stature could probably do better with more reach. As he accepts your Darsex, he'll say, "Well, I cannot repair your blade. I shall work on a longer weapon for you, something that would also gain the considerable weight."
Very well. I will leave you to your work, tradesman.
Serve honorably, Raldar.
Serve honorably. Tipla.
Hopla. And the Forge Master will return to you the pieces of your broken sword. And we'll set to work on his other things. So while you do not have a new weapon today, the next time you return to Mektor, you may well have a new weapon.
Yippee!
Yay. Okay.
Raldor never makes it back to Mektor.
Raldar died on his way back to Mektor. Well, let's see. So, while all of that is going, I figure there are a couple more things to do here. Let's see. Let me take a look at the message here. For the one message there, I'll say we'll cover it more off stream here. But let's see. I do think, at the very least, just going through other business, and no shortage of posts that appear to have happened in that time. Oh dear. Oh, I see what happened. I got sent far into the past is what happened. So, there we go. So, let's see. I guess question would be, does anybody have things they want to cover before we get back to the ship? Seeing none there.
I think I want to have. Could Tabak have a meeting with Azek before the ship launches, like hours and hours before the ship launches?
Definitely. We can go back to. Well, do you want this to be something in the city?
Yeah, in the office. In the office.
Okay, so what we'll do next. I'm just going to pull this out here. All right. So we'll get one more wide shot of. We'll get one more wide shot of Mektor as the day as it gets later into the day, and as you've set up final meetings, you've alerted Morathi and your brother as well about the impending departure. Or you've at least sent notice to Tabor. Morathi is probably got the word in person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And she probably had a lot of words to say about that.
None of them particularly happy, which may be affecting the captain's mood right at this moment. So we'll cut ahead. Azek, you arrive in the office of the captain. As we've established, I believe that it's kind of, once again, sticking to the kind of Klingon cottage core, but it's also got, like, the scrolls and books about. It's, all a very well-crafted, very old place. Tabak, as Azek steps in, describe to us demeanor and what you might be up to.
Probably packing a few supplies, a couple of pads, a bunch of paper, and a lot and ink and quills, because he knows he's going to have to probably handwrite some more copies of the holy texts just to stay calm on this. But everything in the office is put away, aside from the stuff that he's gathering up. Azek, I will be accompanying you on the shakedown and on the subsequent mission after that.
Welcome back.
I am not taking the seat from you. You are still captain of the Yan.
Kind of relieved. I just got it to the right height that I wanted, but I was going to respect it if you wanted it back.
The adjustments on that chair are a little tricky. But there is a task that we will be doing once the shakedown is completed. And that I will be in command of.
Fair enough.
You filled all the berths for warriors?
I think so. We got a rather odd-looking human, a couple other Klingons, and I have assigned Hoch to work with them. Some of the less combat-ready folk to kind of get them combat ready, which he seemed very excited about.
He's a fool and an idiot, but he knows which way to point a blaster, and he is good with a blade.
It's kind of what I
Good.
thought, and
Yep.
he's been wanting to prove himself to us, so I figured what better way to do that than to train other people doing what he does.
Good choice.
DuPont's in getting the transporter room ready to go. Doing a real good job getting that up to par and up to specs, so we shouldn't have any problems with that. In case we need to transport anybody out, he's the best transporter chief that I know.
You have laid in extra stores, supplies, obviously, of food for the added crew.
Yeah, Traven should have been getting a list out to the proper people, and I signed
We
off on it.
we have filled our magazines with photon torpedoes.
Yeah, about that. I didn't know if you wanted them drawn with anybody in particular, or just like a shark face or targ face, or just left alone. But right now they're just left alone.
Unimportant for now. You know what I meant.
Cool, got it.
We have
Yep.
we have sufficient deuterium in the tanks. We have sufficient dilithium in pods.
I
Yes?
will. I will double check with our engineers on the dilithium and the fuel and stuff. I'm not 100. I ordered it, but I'm not 100%. But I will make sure that we are topped off and ready to go before we take off.
Make sure Raldar lays in extra stores of spares. I will be honest with you, my friend. I do not know what to expect on this journey.
That being the case, should we let the doc know to get more medical supplies in case we need it?
That was going to be my next suggestion, yes.
It is at this moment, Tabak, that, and Ezek for that matter, that both of you are. Something interrupts the flow of the conversation. An old, gentle voice says, "Oh, why, certainly, Captain. We shall be all set for our voyage. As far as medical provisions go, I have already been seeing to it."
Doctor, you're staying here. Kresic is my ship's surgeon.
Oh, come now. Chuck, my services, I believe, will be required on this go-around. Indeed, the lady of the house has requested it.
No, Doctor, you're here. You maintain my family's health. Kresic is on board the ship.
"I serve the captain," he says, "but I would implore you to reconsider."
Kresic is very set in his ways and adamant in being the only doctor on board the ship.
Adamant though he may be, surely the force of your command should be enough to override that. He serves the captain too, does he not? surely.
I'm
It's-
waiting for the typing to stop.
Fine.
But you will stay out of Kressik's way.
I would not.
I don't even know where you're going to be sleeping.
I am sure I can make arrangements. As if I am correct in understanding, this is your executive officer here.
No. This is the captain. He is remaining as captain.
An interesting decision, Chuckly. But yours to make. This old, very kindly looking Hoch will step up to you, Azek, and he will outstretch a hand.
I will apprehensively reach out a hand.
I am Dr. Jach.
As at Korg.
I must say I have not heard of the House Korg.
You wouldn't. We're not a house of any kind of renown. That's why I've pledged my services to the house. House Tabak.
House of Cord.
Cord. Thank you.
Azek, there is... it could be understand if you're a little unnerved, given how this old man just, with very little turn of phrase, seems to have maneuvered himself onto what is effectively your ship. Even if it is also Tabak's ship. His ship, but your crew. Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm a little nervous about.
So as to provide as minimal a problem as possible, I will confine my services mostly to my lord. Unless the ship's physician deems it to be appropriate for my assistance. I believe that would satisfy everyone's wishes.
Kresik won't. Kresik will never give that. But you can come along.
I'm already prepared for the journey.
I may be able to use you anyway.
Chuck, we shall see. And I will do my best to that end.
Have him train with Hemok, you think, Captain?
No, the man is far too old. He is an excellent doctor. Nowhere near as good as Kresik. He's been in service to my family for 2 generations already. It would disappoint my wife, I'm sure, if I were to insult him by not bringing him.
Well, to render my service to this family is no insult, and I understand your concern, but we must all find the best ways to serve as we can. Now, I will see you on the ship later. I have final medical matters to tend to.
With all due respect, I'm gonna let you handle that with our good doctor.
Yeah, and whatever he is sending to the ship, get a list from Kresik, compare the two, get whatever Kresic wants that's not on the list.
Okay.
Did you understand me?
Yeah. Get a list from
Kresic. And
Kresic.
whatever that guy hasn't order.
Okay. I can do that, and then I'll double check with the fuel source stuff.
We have plenty of dilithium down at the field, so get a little bit extra just in case.
As far as rooms go, do you want me to relinquish the captain's quarters, or do you?
The next largest quarters were Woe's quarters. She actually had the double bunk. I'll take those over for now.
Okay. DuPont can crash with me, so that's he's been doing that anyway, so works out, saving space.
An eyebrow raises at that one. As you wish. Tabak picks up a mug that's there on his desk, and he just goes, takes all kinds.
I do think there's still one more thing for you to handle, Tabak, before things got underway, and I know since it was something we discussed, I may need to NPC this part as well. Sorry about that. Momentary issues on what's its face on the stream. Yep, we lost it. That means this. No, this should still be okay as long as we wrap up at a good time. Okay. All right. So, yeah. With that, let's see. There's another knock is going to come at your door, Captain, or rather, I guess Azek would have knocked here properly.
Azek has left.
Well, no, I think Azek's still in the room at this point, but there's a knock whilst the two of you are still here.
Okay.
So, I guess, if there's well, okay, they'll wait a few moments, and before stepping through, you see Toy'meH.
Daughter?
Father, Captain Azek.
I kind of nod as in respect and kind of take a step back to give her plenty of space with Tabak.
Father, are you busy at this time, or could we share words?
Certainly. Packing is almost done.
I understand you are leaving with the yacht this time.
Yes.
I would like to express my desire to join you on this next departure.
Huh. He crosses his arms and looks down at his daughter. Why?
Simply put, I think that for what purposes you would ultimately to the ends of furthering my own experience, of broadening my skills, of granting myself deeds that may help me one day be even more worthy of a match, or more advantageous. and to further help in service of the house, I would see it as a duty and a necessity to know more beyond simply this world.
You wish to expand your horizons and become more useful to the house?
Yes.
Or are you simply tired of being locked up here and
Well,
you are young and that is understandable? Your mother is going to kill me, you realize that?
from the sense of the conversations that I have had with her earlier in the day, that sounds as though it is an inevitability already.
Of course it is. That is married life amongst Klingons.
Yes. So why not press it further and allow your daughter to further her own honor in the process?
Oh, you're not going to believe this, but I was thinking about this already. Yes. Yes, you may come. But I want 2 promises from you.
She draws herself a little more rigid. Name your promises.
First, you will do whatever the captain or I, as I am not captain on this journey, you will do whatever the captain or I order you to do without argument or hesitation. You may find yourself helping in engineering, crawling through waste baffles to clean them. You're aware of this, correct?
I am prepared to do whatever duty the ship calls on.
Good. Secondly, when your mother kills me, you must avenge me. And then he gives her a big hug.
She'll meet it and give you a nice tight hug. It's like, should I also prepare to kill Uncle Tabor and be ready to take control of the house when he inevitably makes a mistake?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
As the embrace breaks, my blade will strike true wherever it needs go.
Good. He's a horrible warrior. He should be an easy kill. Your mother, however, that will take planning and care and execution. No pun intended. Now go and get your gear. Get your gear packed.
Yep.
We leave shortly.
We will rush off as well.
And I will try to figure out how to explain this to your mother.
Azek, your roster has expanded by 2 over the course of this meeting.
She'll probably end up sharing the quarters, with me, because, I'm taking Woe's extra large room.
There's, out of character, there's a part of me that wants to mumble. It takes all kinds, but that's just gross.
Oh, God.
To pay back for your comment about DuPont. But this is a family stream, and we keep it clean around here.
More or less, despite all the blood and death and murder.
I'll, if you'd like her to join in the training schedule with TTRPG, you can do that, or I can offer to train a little bit myself.
Oh, no. No. She goes to TTRPG. And she gets no special treatment. You understand that, right?
So it is ordered, so it shall be.
Thank you, Captain.
We do have a small issue about some some computer program that is in the computer the ship, but
Don't worry about that. That's been taken care of, more or less.
Okay. Other than that, I'll go check on the ores and the fuel source and the medical supplies and get ready to go for at your command.
Good. I will see you in an hour or two. I must speak to my wife.
I'd much rather face off against a horde of 1,000 Targ. So good luck with that.
As would I. As would I.
If you need me to transport flowers over, just let me know. Or whatever she prefers as a I've not been in a relationship, so I don't know what the cultural norm is, but I know sometimes ladies like a kind of gesture like that. So
Well, if you've never been in a relationship with a Klingon woman, you know that typically we read love poetry to them, and they hurl heavy objects.
that's flirting. I thought I was doing something wrong. Totally misread those signs.
Yes,
All right.
apparently.
All right. I'd better get everything underway. Yeah. Let me know if you need anything.
I will. And yeah, I want to handle her the conversation with her off camera as Tabak comes to the ship with a busted lip and a black eye.
Yep. Yeah, I think that as Tabak, as you eventually approach the yawn and as the crew steadily assembles, I would like to think that. Let's see how best to phrase this. When you eventually come together, and when the yawn does finally lift beyond the veil of clouds and departs the atmosphere, you do so with many new faces in tow. Some who, if those whom you are in service to are as callous as you would expect, then many whom it won't matter whether they survive or not. Ultimately, whatever happens, all you can do is hope for success, for glory, and that even if you do not succeed, you'll gain some honor for your house among this most mysterious party, but also that you would that success might yield some reward to be even remotely worthwhile for all that this puts you through, and for all that this takes you away from. I think on that note, unless does anyone else have anything else they'd want to do?
On our way back to the ship, I'd message Kresic about the medical supplies and engineering to make sure that the fuel supplies are topped off and ready to go.
We'll leave that all for later on, or like that'll be off-camera stuff. Cyanol will definitely make sure what you need is procured. Anyone else here before we cut out? Well, hearing none, I think then, on that note, we will go ahead and end the session here. So, thank you everyone for joining us. Hope that you enjoyed, and if you want to catch these adventures live, we go live every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to catch us around, and also for our Saturday games where we run Star Trek Adventures Aegis on 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. We are in quite a fun game there right now, so I'll not spoil it for anyone who's in the archives. And I will simply wish those of you there to enjoy the rest of the show and have a good rest of your day.